Welcome to Faith Unfiltered. This is Say What, where we answer the questions that make you say what? This is Kassie and Mary Anne. And today we're getting to know Carrie Welch, who was just ordained to the office of apostle. We're going to ask some getting to know you questions. First off, do you think you would survive a zombie apocalypse?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so why? Because
Okay,
that seems like very fast answer.
I have seen the shows. They work a lot harder than I am willing to work. And I think it might be fun to just kind of roam around in my own free time and not have to worry about what kind of random food in a tin I have to eat that day.
Fair. Just like, just stockpile like thousands of cans of beans or something.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I don't want to live that way. So, no, tell me first.
So what part of a driver's test do you think you would most likely fail or just maybe do poorly?
Probably like the written part, because, you memorize that just long enough to pass the test.
Yeah.
I can still parallel park. I did it yesterday downtown. So I'm good there, but it's the, all of the random signs that you never see or the random speed limits in county roads after dark. There's always these rules. And I don't remember all those always.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm with you. I could memorize it just enough to pass the test. Then afterwards, I'm just like 2 minutes later, it's gone. So do you ever talk to inanimate objects? Like maybe you get angry at something or you get overly apologetic towards something.
I do. I'm usually the coach. I'm like, come on, you can do it. Like the boiling pot of water or something that I'm wanting to hurry up.
Or like the video game that just won't load.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if you could have one pet in the world, what would it be and why?
Okay, so I grew up not having pets because I was allergic to cats and dogs. Yeah. So I had fish. I had Pippi.
That's so cute.
And she lived a long time. And the day that she died, I got to stay home from school because I was sad. However, since then, we've had a little dachshund, dog, and loved him. We found out we weren't as allergic to dachshunds, to that breed, as others. So we had him for about 6 years, and he passed about a year ago. I would absolutely have another dog like that, except I travel so much. I wouldn't be there.
We used to have, when we were really little, we used to have this goldfish, and his name was Mr. Mustachio. Well, one day, Mr. Mustachio turned out to be a Mrs. Mustachio, and there were thousands of tiny fish.
Yes.
In the fish tank.
It's unfortunate.
Okay, so what are some of your hobbies?
Okay, I have hobbies, and that's fun because a few years ago I didn't. Yeah. And I went through my mind, and I'm like, there's got to be something that I can do. So I now have too many hobbies, but I've really embraced my artistic side. So I love to sketch and watercolor. I have a little travel watercolor kit and travel journal that I take with me on all of my trips. So even this summer, I've sketched at every reunion grounds that I've been at. And I'm not saying I'm a great artist. It's really just for fun. It's not about being good. It's about creating memories as I go and keeping my hands busy. So I love to do that. It's also fun. I'm on my third journal now. And so it's fun to look back at the first one and see the progress that I made. So anybody out there trying to do that, I just keep saying, just keep practicing.
Yeah. So you don't see the progress that you're making if you don't look back.
Absolutely. So I'm grateful that I kept those old journals. And who knows? Maybe I'll feel that way about what I'm doing now, but I'm at least feeling more confident and I'm having fun. So that's great. The other thing I do is I've embraced my love of quilting and all things fabric in the last few years. When I was a kid, my mom taught me how to sew. And of course, because my mom taught me, I wasn't interested in doing it at that time. But I have loved it. I kind of found my own niche of a fabric line that I really like and a type of quilting that I really like. So I make big, bold, modern, colorful quilts. I love to give them away to my friends, or sometimes I've sold them before. I still have far more many than I need, but I have found that I can do something called English paper piecing, which is little projects that I can carry with me on my travels.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I travel so much that it's a great way to keep my hands busy when I'm on the airplane or anywhere I'm at.
So you mentioned that you've watercolored like at every reunion you've been to so far. So do you like to like watercolor the scenery around you, or like do you just watercolor random things?
I usually find something of interest at each reunion. Like when I was at Camp San Diego, they had a really cool water slide at the campground. So I was out there with the kids watching the duck races and chose to paint that. Here at this reunion grounds, there's a cool little truck right outside. And so I painted that the other day.
Cool.
Things like that.
Yeah. So, do you like to read?
I love to listen to audiobooks. Ever since seminary, it's hard for me still to kind of pick up a book and just read it. Now I will, and there have been some great ones. But for fun, I prefer audiobooks because I can do it while I'm painting, while I'm sewing, while I'm traveling. And so I have found that to be an easier way for me to complete a book.
What kind of books do you like to read?
If I am reading just for fun, I like thrillers. So books that keep me in suspense. Not necessarily gory and, not murder plots necessarily, but things that will surprise me. And if I can get to the last chapter and not have figured out who did whatever it was, then it's a good book.
Yeah. So like the mystery thriller.
Yeah.
I love those kinds of books.
Yeah, me too.
Do you like to listen to music?
I do like to listen to music, and I don't do it nearly enough. And that's probably because I'm listening to audiobooks, honestly, so much. If I stop doing that, I might listen to music again. I have enjoyed, though, being able to just pick a radio station on my phone, on my app, and just be surprised again. I, of course, have favorite artists and such. Most of them are from the 90s, but nonetheless, really enjoy music. It's when I was little, I used to think, wouldn't it be great if we could have like a soundtrack in the back of our lives, going around and doing this. Maybe it's from all the movies, you see some big moment happening and there's music in the background that's queued up just perfectly. And now we can do that with the music in our phones on headphones. And it just makes me laugh, but I don't do it enough.
What kind of music do you like? Like is there a specific genre or?
I like kind of folksy music. Like I love guitar and piano. I don't want to call out anybody by name necessarily. Indigo Girls are still my favorite. Yeah. They're old school. Everybody knows them again from Taylor Swift, from the Barbie movie. Excuse me. So, but back originally, I loved that, and so I still love that genre, even though it's fun to explore new things. My heart loves what it loves. Yeah.
For me, it really depends on what I'm doing in the moment. So if I'm cleaning or something, I like to listen to classic rock or something more upbeat like that. But if I'm doing homework, I like to listen to the kind of the classical music with the big crescendos and the giant cello. For me, it's what mood I'm in. I'll listen to alternative most of the time. But then if I'm in a more creative mood, I listen to theater music.
Sure.
Musicals. But of course, nothing beats Toby Mac. So, do you have a favorite hymn?
I do, and it changes, but ever since I was called to this role, one of the hymns has stood out to me, and I've used it a couple times when having asked this question. And it's You've Come Down to the Lake Shore, and it's in our hymnal. But what I love about it is the words talk about Jesus needing me as I am, not when I'm better or when I have something figured out, but using what it is that I uniquely can give and calling me to follow him. And so that, and the tune is just catchy. So, that for sure right now is the one I'm loving still.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I really love that song.
Yeah, me too.
So we're currently at a Southeast Mission Center reunion.
Mhm.
So what has been your favorite thing about this camp so far?
You know what I love about this camp is the diversity here. I have seen a diversity of ages be involved. We have 2 young adult leaders who are being mentored, and I love that. There are people with different skin color than me, with different primary languages than me. And I love that. Unfortunately, I don't see that as often as I would like in some of our reunion settings and even some of our congregations. And for whatever reason, this week has been really diverse, and I've just really valued that.
Yeah. My answer was a lot less profound than that.
It's okay. What is your favorite thing?
No, I just feel like for some reason this is really nice campgrounds.
Mhm.
And they have horseback riding.
They do.
They do. And I love horses.
Okay.
So, sorry. So what do you like about camps in general? So like, what's your favorite thing about camps in general?
Camps or reunions. Oh, campfires. I used to love campfires. I did so many of them. I got burned out. So I can't say that's my favorite thing. I do like the s'mores.
Yes.
I think I like the downtimes when we just get to have natural conversations with people. You find somebody sitting outside. This week, there are some incredible hammocks that are swinging out by the lake, and I've been down there several times. And that's just fun to sit there and kind of see who shows up. You never know who you're going to meet and where your conversation's going to lead.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's probably one of my favorite things, too, is just I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. I love hearing their story and just interacting with them. So, that's probably one of my favorite things, too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Kassie, she's an introvert.
I do love getting to know people. I do it one-on-one. So a lot like what you described. If I were down at the hammocks and someone were to come up to talk to me, that would be something that I would do. And although I appreciate large group settings where everyone is around, you can just feel the energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nothing beats singing in large groups, right? You get that energy, so that's always a good one.
Yeah.
So, our theme this week is about hope. So, how have you seen hope demonstrated this week?
So it's been the theme all summer. And so I have kind of been training myself intentionally to look for glimpses of hope. And in my first sermon the other night, I mentioned lots of things I've seen this summer. But if I'm trying to think about things I've seen this week, I saw hope today when we had somebody confirmed into Community of Christ. That was really exciting. I loved talking to him beforehand and learning a little bit about his story and where he was coming from. And so that was very hopeful. I felt hopeful. I don't know her name. She's one of the young girls who has been in the children's moments, and she seems to know every parable in the Bible.
Nora.
Is it Nora? She's amazing. I'm like, who's teaching your Sunday schools? Because they are getting it right. I love to hear her enthusiasm and her wanting to share and her knowing those stories.
That's awesome.
I think that was great.
I love it when children just show an enthusiasm for participating and for knowing these things.
Absolutely.
You were just ordained at World Conference as an apostle. Do you feel that this has changed your viewpoint of the church?
I mean,
it doesn't have to be like some big thing.
I mean, now I sit around the Council of 12 table, that big table sometimes, and that's kind of crazy. Like I remember when I was younger touring and seeing that and thinking, wow. And now like that's just where we have meetings. And so in some ways, that's been kind of fun. I certainly have a profound respect for it. And still it feels a little unreal that I'm part of that crowd for now. But I think more than anything, I think of those that have come before me, and to be on any kind of list with some of those people who I have just valued, in that decades later, somebody may see my name on that list, and that's kind of cool. So I don't know. It's only been 2 months. I'm still growing into it.
Yeah.
So what excites you about your position going forward?
So, you know that the U.S. apostles were doing it a lot differently this time moving forward. So we have 4 of us that are a team and 2 extras that are not extras, but 2 people that have other huge responsibilities, but are also offering some help here in the U.S. And we have our presence of 70 that are really focused on mission. And so together we have a great team. So, but we're doing a brand new thing and trying to do it in a whole new way. And so we've been forming our team really, and that's kind of what we've been focused on, and restructuring processes and a lot of those behind the scenes things. And, always a bit of growing pains, but I'm doing it with amazing people.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. And it's going to be good. And I'm really grateful that we've gone that direction. But like I said, we're still new and still figuring some of that out.
So what is your vision for the community of Christ in the next 5 years?
That's a big question. I think that we are pretty good at the community part, but there's so much opportunity there. I think that we're good at the community part with those that we are in community with.
Yeah.
I think if we can reach outside of our comfort zone, that there are so many blessings yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
I am beginning to think about opportunities to travel outside the country. And though I'm really focused on my ministry in the U.S. right now, I know that who I am as a minister, as a person, will grow with those other experiences. And same for all of us. Some of us have been really focused in their congregational life, and that's great. But there's so many other opportunities out there that I really think people could grow from. And so I am hopeful about new experiences and new opportunities and taking the risk to try something new.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So you mentioned being able to get outside your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, at least people my age that I've been interacting with, are kind of scared of inviting our friends because we feel like it'll be awkward. We feel like it's kind of awkward, to just go up to somebody and say, "Hey, you want to come here?" It's a Christian camp. Do you want to come do you want to come to church with me? Of course, there are a few outliers, like a couple of my friends that are just they invite 9 kids to camp. I don't know how they do it, but it's just what are some tips that you found that helps with that awkward feeling?
Well, I found if it's something that you really like, that they're going to play off your energy. So if they like you because they're your friend and you like this cool camp, they might be more open to trying it. And I think that we don't give our friends enough credit sometimes. We sometimes feel apologetic or concerned that somebody might say something and that person might feel awkward. I think we cut that opportunity short when we don't give them the opportunity to try it. Maybe that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah. Just give it a little try.
Yeah. And you can give them a little heads up warning before, and say some of these things I'm going to feel awkward about too. It's okay if you do. And definitely ask me questions if something happens or somebody says something that you don't understand. But, but I do it. These are good people and I love them and I like you too. So maybe we can all be community.
Yeah, totally.
So, a whole team has taken the U.S. as a whole field. Have you discussed how it would be divided amongst each of you?
To start, we have divided up the Mission Center presidents into 3 groups. And Kat Natition and Matt Frizzell and myself are each leading one of those administrative groups. And that's really just to make sure that the Mission Center presidents have the support they need and that connection to us. But we're not dividing those mission centers into 3 groups. Previously we had different fields, and we are working really hard to make sure that it doesn't feel like we've just reduced it from 5 to 3. So even the groups that we've picked, we have grouped those mission center presidents in similar groups by things like number of campgrounds and size of your budget and whether you have paid staff or volunteer staff. And so we're going to do those groups monthly and give them a chance to help support each other. So again, creating opportunities to share across those mission center boundaries, things that are working, struggles that they're having. And we hope that that'll help unify the U.S. in a new way that we haven't been able to do before. Also, we're, trying to figure out where our specialties lie and what are things that naturally we are drawn to.
Yeah.
And some of that is obvious and some of that we're still kind of sorting out, and we don't know until we try either.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's been a couple months. We're going to keep working on that. But I do imagine that down the road, there will be certain things. Like I love training and teaching and developing leaders. And so there are opportunities that I will naturally lean toward in that regard.
Yeah. So how has your viewpoint of being an apostle changed since you have become one?
This is a big question for me, and not because it's hard, but because I have big feelings about it. I remember roaming the halls of World Conference when I was little, and I would see the pictures of all the apostles. And of course, at that time, they were all older white men. And, when I was a kid, women in the priesthood changed, and my mom was ordained. And so there were opportunities, and I grew up around lots of women who took leadership roles. But I think there was still an idea in my head of what an apostle meant, of what being an apostle meant, right? And I'm learning that was probably naive, like in a lot of ways. Apostles are people too, guys. Big surprise, And I'm uncomfortable with that word because I don't know what it means to other people when they hear that. And so I don't want them to think that I think I'm any more important than they are, or that I was a few months ago.
Yeah.
But I'm also this summer working really intentional to accept that term and what that means to me and what it means to other people when they use it with my name. And the importance of that and how it is a calling and it is a responsibility that I have to live up to. And I want to. So I'm still trying to figure out what that means, that I'm an apostle, and it's all good work.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm trying to understand, help myself understand, is that these people that come with the giant titles of apostle or president or 70, they have hobbies, they have interests. One of them might be obsessed with Marvel or Star Wars.
Absolutely.
One of them really likes reading fantasy books or just has a weird thing about pink poodles. I don't know. Is that they have personalities and they have, they're people. They're
Absolutely.
big names.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I'm an apostle and that's my job. I'm also Carrie, and so I want people to know me more than just my title. I have this crazy big job and it's exciting. And I'm more than that. Yeah. So thanks for asking.
So what was your favorite part about World Conference this year?
Oh gosh. It was a big year. It was good energy, wasn't it? So I love that Stacy was ordained as the first woman. I think that's really neat. I love that there were 6 brand new apostles and that they're all my friends. That's wild. I knew each of them. I didn't know Adam well, but the rest of them I had personal relationships with outside of work prior to being called together. And so it is fun to know that we're kind of changing the role of what the Council of 12 looks like, and that we have some opportunity, not that things have to be changed up, but certainly people are open to our voices. And it's fun to be around the table and to share my ideas and have those be valued. So it's the ordination night was really special to me, to be there with my friends, with my colleagues, and to have this 12 that had been in service to then ordain us and kind of that passing of the baton.
Yeah.
It was just great. And, the people, Chandra Newcomb and Dave Nee, who ordained me, I have personal relationships with from way back when I was a young adult. And so it's been neat that they knew me and were able to be part of that ceremony and were able to be, or that ordination. And, the prayer that Chandra offered was specialized just for me. And you could see aspects of my personality weave through it. And so it was nice to be known in that moment and be seen. And it's going to be a good group. I'm excited. Good energy.
Yes. So, last question.
Okay.
If you could have coffee or tea with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and what would you ask them?
It'd be coffee for me, but it would be tea with my dad. He passed away about 5 years ago, unexpectedly. And though we had said all the right things, and I know how proud he is of me, and he knows that I love him, I didn't get a final goodbye, and it was too fast. And so I talked to him still. He was there at the ordination night. I sensed his spirit there. But hands down, that's who I would want to have a few more minutes with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a big coffee drinker.
I am a big coffee drinker. That's what you took out of it. Yes. So much, in fact, that at this week, we haven't had coffee. So I brought my own little coffee pot so we could all be prepared. And, been sharing that with my neighbors this week. Everybody's happier when Carrie's caffeinated. Yes.
So thank you for allowing us to interview you.
You're very welcome.
And thank you guys for listening. And just remember, don't forget to put on your full armor of God and just walk in peace. Bye.